Hello, you're on Twitch stream.
Test sickles.
Well, this is quite a way to begin. This is how I want to begin all my streams.
How's Ezra this evening?
I'm doing all right. I've been a little under the weather.
Oh, you look fine. In fact, I'd go so far as to say you look pretty good.
Oh, thanks.
Wait a minute. I thought you weren't in Vermont anymore.
Yeah, because I've been under the weather, I ended up sticking around.
Oh, you didn't
So,
want to get the family sick.
yeah, I've been dealing with some kind of like flu-like symptoms, and I'm sure our handful of loyal viewers want to hear all about it. So, thank you for starting the stream before asking me how I'm doing. I gotta mention somewhere. Oh, it's just everyone. It's not me specifically.
Every week I send one chat message to everyone once a week. I'm sure that has increased my ignore rate 1,000%. But c'est la vie. So, no Owen tonight, I don't think. And Galadis is going to be late. So this right now is our crew for the evening.
It's gonna be a nice easygoing session tonight. I can feel it in my bones.
Feel it in my fingers.
Yeah, that's exactly where my head went.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, while you're feeling it in your fingers, I'm going to share this week's featured art. Boom. This is from Cameron in the art channel, and it is sketches and color variations of a character for another game that they are playing. And I think it's pretty cool. I really like it. I liked all the detail. I think those are those leaves or mushrooms on this machine thing.
Fuck.
Porque no los dos?
I don't know. I don't know. This is some sort of machine. It looks like it's got half an intestine. It's got pockets and pouches, and I think those are mushrooms? Question mark. I don't know. Anyway, it's pretty cool. These are all variations on what the character could look like. It's pretty good character art.
I think I like the top right one.
Oh, hold on. Cam is here in chat and says that they are mushrooms. Which one's your favorite?
Top right.
Top
Bachelor
right. Yeah, the one without a hood.
Bachelor number 3. Yes.
Bachelor number 3. Bachelor number 3. Anybody else have a favorite? I would actually go with the one that has like the light blue might be my favorite, but maybe that's just because it's very different.
Well, any game I play where I can hide my helmet, I always do. So I think that maybe there's a connection there.
It's because you have such a beautiful coif going on.
2 more days. It's gonna be gone next week.
Well, I wish you wouldn't, but wait, since Cameron's in chat, does this character have a name that we can send out into the world? Milo. Excellent. This is definitely a Milo. You're correct. All right, well. All right, I'm going to stop sharing that now. Okay. Uh-oh. Jenna, your mic is keying into all the sounds of you moving things around.
I'm here. Sorry.
That's okay. All right, so
little Jana ASMR.
Yeah, it's a little Jenna ASMR. That's a good point. Yeah, we should do a dice rolling ASMR. Is there one of those already? Does that exist? Of just D&D players rolling dice?
A good one. Just mix that one in with like golf balls going into cups.
Like, well, if we did dice rolling ASMR, we could mix it in with people like getting nat ones or nat 20s and then screaming.
Oh fuck!
I
If you whisper it,
listen. I tried to type in TTRPG ASMR into YouTube, and it corrected it to RPG ASMR. And the first one is ASMR insane rocket launcher sounds for sleep and relaxation. Not sure what that's all about.
I guess I don't really understand ASMR. It doesn't compute with my brain. When I say I don't understand it, I mean it doesn't have any personal aesthetic appeal to me, and so it doesn't. I don't get why people like it, but
you don't experience the response.
no, not at all. In fact, I think it's really creepy, and I'm like personally against it. But that's not
Oh,
really
it
the point.
just feels cozy and
Well,
intimate
it
to me.
sounds like you're running for office at this point. So
Yep.
So anyway, I do think that if we had, and this is our $1 billion idea. We're gonna take all of our dice rolls and then all of our exclamations afterwards and turn it into ASMR with to whisper shout things. Nat 20. Yes. Critical fail. Fuck. All right, who wants to do a recap of what happened last week? I desperately want to hear your all's take on what happened last week because last week had a lot of good highlights in it. I only made 2 highlights. There was like 5 more I thought about making. Last week was pretty ridiculous.
We spent almost all of our time bumblefucking our way through Rhyme Slayer last week.
took a long time, man.
Yeah, it
I
was
feel like
real slow.
I spent half the session trying to figure out how to put that weapon into fucking D&D Beyond.
Yeah. We started with kind of checking in on who was injured and who was unconscious. So there's a human woman, who Owen knows as his sister, I'm pretty sure, but none of the rest of us know that. So neither do you. Who is passed out and injured. Does she have like a broken leg or something maybe too, or she's just real crumpled?
She doesn't look good.
No. She's in limbo, we think, because a parent had signed a fiendish contract that they were unable to pay, so it moved on to her as the child. Starbrand was forced into signing a contract, so it probably won't be binding, but he's also unconscious throughout the entire session last week. Borgel told us that his hands are hurt because he was in charge of handling the eggs, and they hurt his hands. We did find. I was just looking at the name today. Fallon, is that Gelidus's father? Phelan?
Yaren
Yaren.
Clearbrand.
I'm gonna get it one of these times. Yaren and Fadelius we found in a hanging cage in the forge area in the back. We got them out. There's another one of the war machines back there, although it wasn't fully complete. It was lacking some of the final runes. We went into, well, we noticed a really large, scary-looking door. And when we went to go in there, we all got fireballed.
That was my favorite part.
Yep. Inside, there was a shit ton of gold.
Well, hold on. Janet went and looked and told us that it was fine.
Yeah.
And then we opened the door and I think 2 people died.
I mean, listen, if
And then
anything, I
Gemma
think
wasn't hurt.
Yeah, Janet
the
escaped
fireball.
unscathed, which was, yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
whoa, guys, I guess I missed something.
For what I think that like feather in our caps, we didn't metagame. We knew that Jana rolled badly, and we didn't get out of the way. So that was good role playing on our part to eat that fireball.
Well
Um,
played. Well played, Ezra.
There was also, I think, 12 draconian eggs in addition to all of the gold, and there were also 3 more fiendish contracts hidden away in that room. We squashed all of the eggs. We collected all the gold and jewels, which amounted to about 50,000 gold, 30,000 worth of jewels. Gold, not 30,000 jewels worth of jewels. And then we went and examined the weapon rack and armor rack in the main war room, where Zerwin got a +3 axe of dwarvish kings or lords, which had all kinds of fun things, but also one really scary thing. We had Jana gets a +2 longbow. There's also a leather quiver with flame decals on it. And ornamental steel armor inlaid with a whole bunch of gold, which probably is not actually very useful as armor, but it's worth a lot. We learned a little bit more about Borgol. He's from a lovely mountainous foresty place on another plane of existence.
Well described there. Nicely done.
The human woman was a mean woman who tricked Borgol into signing a contract to bring him here. She had offered him basically all the food he would ever want or need, or both. He also said some really mean things to the mean woman, though, and that was hilariously written into his contract. Reimeroth turned into a death dragon, but Epinnicus destroyed the contract and dispelled it, saying some really big elvish words. So thank you, Epinnicus, for doing that, because we were not in a state to fight another dragon. All of the metallic dragons polymorphed down to human form when we went back to the entrance. And Epinnicus told us about tracking an ancient black dragon named Falrith.
Yep.
And killed the black. He killed the black dragon with Hitherth and Zixon. Falrith had an infernal contract himself, and missives from Rorsis. So that's part of how Epinnicus realized, like, hey, maybe these dumbasses are onto something. We're the dumbasses.
Okay.
At that point, Ezra made a little bit of a scene about wanting to destroy the war machine, but Fadaliz wanted to keep it because he's an inventor. So we let her. We said that she could come back and take it. Whatever. And then we went back to Wonder. The Black Lotus Eaters are going to stay in Wonder to train a new contingent of elves. The other 2 infernal contracts, one was for Borgol to serve a fiend, and I mentioned this, until his heart is as black as his tongue and twice as rotten. And the last contract we couldn't read because all of the words were constantly in motion. So it was enchanted with some additional magic. Sufficiently powerful demons and devils can protect their contracts. The book spoke to me at this point and mentioned, and of course, with the book being a fiendish book, it was of note that the book really clearly laid out that it's a bad idea to pass off the contracts from a parent onto their kids, because they're much more likely to get the attention of a celestial or a god at that point. And then everything went on fine. Ezra didn't see anything else, but Owen and Gelidus prayed to their gods, and their gods showed up. If only a god would show up for me.
This is Ezra just, I need a hero.
Yeah. Gillian and Paladin, really bad spelling error there, shoe up and talk to them. Paladin. Paladin with an E. Texas with a $sign. None of the rest
It's a
of the
big
party
wager.
can see them. There's talk of the balance, and then they gave us some information about where to go to deal with the contract, probably afflicting Owen's sister. But we need to be ready before we go. And then the dragons in Epinnicus flew off. I probably should have asked Epinnicus about the Blade of the Hidden Lord, but here we are.
Those are really good notes, Ezra. You know what? Danger
Yeah.
awesome point to you for A, amazing notes, and B, recapping them very well. That was the most thorough note taking of the game so far, I think.
I always get nervous because I feel like they take too long, and I don't like the sound of my own voice.
I just
You have a
want to
great
point out
voice.
I just want to point out that the crowd suggested that Ezra replacing the fairy godmother in Shrek 2 is, I think, a really apt suggestion given Ezra's background and with the Fae. All right, so yeah, you left off back in Wonder, and you had collectively decided you were going to go back to the inn and sleep so that you could get a long rest. You could heal up, you could all your spells back. You could be back to who you were as uh, regular powered adventurers.
Back to who you were. I'll never be that man again, Bill.
You're welcome. That's on me. Um, so you wake up in the inn in Wonder, and you are, as you have many times over the past couple weeks, awoken by the smells of cooking food or cooked food from the kitchens. You wander down into the common room. It's There's a fair number of people. A lot of the cousins are still here. Um, Becky is behind the bar trying to be kind of cheerful and not really succeeding. But there are people cooking and bringing food out if you all would like to break your fast here.
Yes.
Sounds good to me.
You also, as you are eating your various victuals, there's a lot of, like I said, a lot of salted pork, a lot of things that keep well. But there's also eggs and some, grain product that may or may not be oatmeal. Who knows? As you're sort of eating your breakfast and washing it down with some watered down wine or ale, Kiggy comes down the stairs, and Starlbrand is with her, walking.
He's awake.
Yes. They come over and sit with you, although Starlbrand looks real shaky.
Hey,
Hey, big
Sovereign,
guy.
how you feeling, man?
I am as well as can be expected. I am very hungry.
You came to the right place. It's good to have you back. We were worried about you.
Yes, well, it has been a long several days.
Sure. Sure. Yeah, what are you craving?
He looks, and at first he looks at the bacon and he's like, "Oh, I want bacon," but then he gets this look on his face, and everyone can make a perception check. This is Erwin's favorite roll.
A perception, I'm all right. It's intelligence checks that kill me.
11.
12.
14.
Jana? Jana's muted. She had to run to go get her dice. They're upstairs.
While we're waiting for Jana, Bill, do you mind refreshing our memory about the teleportation ring that we have to bring us back to the Citadel?
You have an ability to call the Concord Jewel.
Okay, so we do have, yeah, I know we talked about this, I don't know, within the last 2 months.
It's
But
not
we
technically
do
a
have to go.
teleport.
Yeah, we have to go back to Hopeful, and we can catch it there, right?
You can call it from anywhere, um, because you have like a sort of special thing for it. But yeah. All right. So I don't know
Okay.
where Jana went, but Zerwin. Oh, there she is. Did you make a perception roll, Jana? If you want to.
I'm having trouble logging into D&D Beyond. You can just say I failed. If
Okay. Let me know if you
Well,
figured it out. So Zerwin succeeds. Zerwin, the look that comes across Starlbrand's face when he has like a second attempt at this bacon is almost horror. Um, and then he says, "I'll have some of the oatmeal and fruit, please." And someone brings him a big bowl of it.
So I say, Stalbrand, I know, I understand if you don't want to answer this, but can you tell us what happened while you were a prisoner?
Rhymroth wanted me to open portals for his army, and I refused.
Just to move them around, Kryn?
He wanted me to put them inside Wonder to be able to attack you in the rear.
Well, I appreciate you not doing that.
It wasn't really an option. I'd rather die than help someone like Rhymeroth.
Well, I'm glad neither of those things happened. I stuff all the bacon in my mouth in one bite just to get it off the table.
Dude, I wanted some of that.
Shut up!
I ate all the. There's only oatmeal and fruit now.
There's some fish still too,
Have
and
some
eggs.
fish.
You know that fish and bacon. Never mind. Fish isn't bacon. You know that.
Kiki orders some food as well, and they sort of, just eat in silence.
Discord is so fucked up.
Discord's been giving me problems lately too. All right. After breakfast, what will you all do then?
I would like to talk to. Well, how's Lerm doing? Is Lermenion running around? Did he come with us to fight the dragon, or did he chill
No,
out here at the inn?
no, he lives here now
Okay.
in the inn.
So he's there.
Yeah,
I cast talk to animals.
he's got a spot near the fireplace.
Cool. I'm gonna cast talk to animals.
Okay.
And I just want to check in with him. Right. So I'm like, hey, Lerm, what's up, dude?
Hey.
Hey, what's up? It's been a wild week. Did you have a wild week? I had a wild week.
What's a week?
Yeah. Well, it's time. I had a wild time. Did you have time? Did you have a good
There was a
time?
lot of scary noises, and I hid
Yeah.
under the bed for a long time and cried.
Are you okay now?
Yeah, but I had nightmares.
Did you get hurt? Did you get any boo-boos?
No, I yelled a lot though.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Me too. I did a lot of yelling. I
Yeah.
also got a lot of boo-boos. I died twice.
You
I
look
just wanted
really good for having died twice.
Yeah, I do that. I look good. I wanted to check in with you. We're probably gonna skedaddle out of this location soon. We're going to leave this town. And I just want to make sure that you're feeling good where you are. We don't want to leave you behind in a place that you don't like. Do you
Oh,
like it
I
here?
love it here. It's the best. This place, there's so much food. There's food everywhere, and the people touch me, and they say nice things to me, and they pet me, and sometimes they'll throw bones to me or balls, and I can just run around and grab them. And there's all these cats, and I can sniff every cat butt that comes through here, and nobody yells at me, and I can chase the cats, and sometimes the cats claw me, but other times, and I like bite them, and like bark at them a lot, and like sometimes I yell, and it's really great, and
Yeah,
everyone's
look, I
so
don't.
good.
That's good. That's good. That's good. I put my hand on his face affectionately. That's good. I just wanted to check in with you because we're gonna go away. So if you need to say goodbye to any of these dudes and ladies, you do that, right? You can just do that right now if you want to just go sniff somebody's butt or something if you need to. We're gonna go soon. Not immediately, but very soon. We may not come back to this inn.
What's goodbye mean?
It means you won't see us anymore.
Forever?
Don't know. Don't know. I died twice literally yesterday, so anything could happen.
But you'll come back again, like you did after you died.
Yes. So all I'm saying is that I love you, and we all love you. Every single
Oh my
you
god, I
love
love you
him,
guys
right?
too. Tell them I love them. Oh my god, I love them. These guys are great. I love these guys.
Guys, tell them that you love them. Put a hand in the air or something. They all love you. So we're gonna go soon, and we love you and have a good time and eat all the food and sniff the cat's butts, and don't let them claw you too much. Okay?
Yeah, I saw a
All
squirrel
right.
too.
Oh,
Dirk, is he
dude,
is he
kill
is he
kill them.
saying he wants to stay here?
Yeah, he's chill. He's got a good spot here. I'm concerned about his weight, honestly, but beyond that, he's cool.
Has he said that there's anyone who's been taking care of him or that will take care of him?
I don't know. He seems like Hey, Lerm, is anybody in specific taking care of you, or are you more of like
I
a?
like the cow lady the best. She's the best. She makes me feel the food. She like pets me a
Oh,
lot. She's like super friendly. Sometimes she takes me for walks. She can't walk very well yet, but she's getting better. Every time she gets a little bit better, like every day, she walks a little bit faster. I think she's healing because I think she broke something in the fight. But she's really great. She's like gives me all the like scraps of the food sometimes that she doesn't want anymore. And like we like play games and like she pets me
yeah,
a ton.
yeah, yeah. You sound like Zerwin right now. That's great. So have a good time with the cow lady.
Oh yeah,
And
her name's
and
Becky.
you could have said that the first time to remind me. Have a good time with Becky, and we'll catch you later, homie. All
Okay.
right. And then I take a big piece of fish, and I say to remember me by.
Oh,
And I give
I
him a big
love
piece
fish.
of fish.
He says Becky's been taking care of him.
Yeah, Becky's taking care of him.
Uh, the one of us who's most likely to come back is Gelidus because his parents live here. Maybe could you tell him that if he ever needs anything else, that he should find the people who look and smell like Gelidus here in town?
What about Becky? Becky's taking care of him.
Well, it's the more
But we
the
don't know.
more
We don't
the
even know
more
if they're.
connections we make in our communities, the
He's not even
stronger we
together
all are.
connections. I don't know if he's like a. He's like a. We don't even know if they're dog kinders. They could be cat kinders. We don't know.
They had that pseudo dragon.
A
They're pet
pseudo
people.
dragon. I swear to God, do you know nothing about
Or
dogs?
I can't remember exactly what it was. Was it a pseudo dragon?
It was a winged flying snake.
Ah,
I swear to God, the next time you think that a winged flying snake and a dog are the same thing, I might need to take a breather.
To be,
Anyways, Worm, love you. You've got lots of friends here. You got lots of friends, right, buddy?
I love friends.
Yeah, exactly. He's fine. We're good.
There is a distant shouting from what sounds like possibly the southern gate. It rouses you. It brings back terrible fucking memories, honestly, as you all jump to your feet, sort of instinctively.
yeah. Yeah, I just broke into a cold sweat. All right. Well, I don't want to walk away from my steak and eggs, but I mean, all right. Should we go check and see what that was?
Yep. I pull my axe out as we start jogging towards the gate.
So the southern gate, which is also the eastern gate, has started ringing its alarm bell by the time you leave the inn and start jogging through the town towards the gate. Everyone else is also running in that direction, and there's a lot of commotion. As you get closer, you hear shouts of a column um, approaching, a horde of people approaching down the road.
Are they the townspeople?
I
The,
mean, we continue to the gate. Do we still have the ramparts built up?
that's the other side of the. It's the other side of the. There's the two holes where the fighting took place. Is like almost the opposite side
Yeah, so
of the
they're
town.
coming from the Dawn Reach.
Yes.
Okay.
But so we didn't fortify the wall. Like we didn't build any like earthen ramps up, right? On
No.
that side.
Nope.
No.
The gates are like without any orders that you've given. The gates are flung open, and like people are hauling them open. And as you get up to the gate and sort of climb up the gate tower, you see that there is indeed a long column of people coming towards you. It is the mothers and children and old people of Wonder returning to the town, shepherded by a guard of centaurs and humans on horseback. There is, there's cheering, um, and immediately there's Captain Ardril sort of like appears, and he starts using the elves to push people back from the gate so that the column of people can actually get in to the town because there are so many sort of like excited, soldiers. Um, when it finally does arrive, soldiers, running back to their wives and children and husbands and sweeping them up in their arms, mothers kissing the faces of their grown boys, tears of joy spilling down their cheeks. You want to say
I
something,
lean
Dirk?
over to Zerwin and I'm like, does this town have food?
I don't know.
Oh, I just not. No, shouldn't have expected the Supreme Commander. That's good.
I've literally been with you the entire time.
I was just checking. I didn't know if you had like meetings while I was sleeping.
No, we should. I mean, is Folus here? Can we see Folus anywhere?
Right now, all you can sort of see is this massive like reuniting taking place. Like siblings embracing and trembling, grandparents crying out on the sight of some face they thought they might never see before. There's hugging and dancing and like cries of joy as the long column continues to spill in. But it's not every family. And as joyous as the reunions are, those who seek a face among the crowd and do not find it begin to release devastating howls, screams of desperation, shouts of denial, the awful sounds of irrevocable loss made permanent. One woman, presented with the helmet of her lost son, presses it to her face and heaves in breath after breath, trying to capture the scent of him, even as the realization of his loss writes itself on her shoulders, her back, her face. As the mass of people begin to fully realize the extent to which their own, Their neighbors, their friends, and family are forever devastated. The celebrations stop. The laughing ceases. The smiles fade. And somberly, those left alive realize that there are no victors in war, only survivors and the dead. One small girl, perhaps 3 or 4, approaches you. She's quite small, and she walks up to you. "Excuse me," she says.
Hello,
"Hello?
small girl.
Hi, my sister is Jibby." And she points to a young woman whose left arm now ends at the wrist, and there's a bandage around her head, who's embracing someone that is very clearly her mother. And she said that you all are the reason we still have a home. So I wanted to thank you. And in her hand is a small bit of cloth, colored green, and she reaches out and hands it to Zerwin, who's closest. "This was my daddy's. He has the other piece, and he told me to hold on to it so I would recognize him when I saw him again. But I don't need it because I remember what he looks like. Mama says that he isn't home and he won't ever be home again, but I think she's wrong. I think he will come back because he promised he would. And I'm going to take my brother back to our house and wait for him. But Jibby says that you saved us and that you deserve a treasure. And I don't have a treasure, but I do have this. So you can have it for saving my sister and brother." And then she turns and walks back towards her family. And the woman who is hugging her mutilated daughter.
All right. Where were we?
What do I have? Now I have a small green piece of cloth.
Mm-hmm. Looks like it's been rubbed between forefinger and thumb for quite a bit.
Is it magical? Then I'll throw it in my pouch or my bag.
Is Ardrill still around?
Yeah, he's the mood has really changed as everyone has sort of made the realizations about all of the dead people. And so now he is sort of somberly ushering in everyone else. And he actually has most of the BLE doing this, and he has approached the head of the escort that came with them, and he seems to be offering them some refreshing, like water, offering them to stay if they need to the night before they head out. But it's morning. Looks like they want to turn around and head back at some point today.
The BLE?
No, the centaurs and humans that escorted
Ah,
this big group of people.
okay. Yeah, I'm gonna see if Ardrill will be able to meet with us in Follis within the next couple of hours, maybe within the fortress. So that we're a little bit out of the way. So I walk up to Ardrill. Captain,
Yes.
would it be possible for us to meet our group, you and Follis, in the fortress within a few hours?
You just me, or do you want the BLE also?
Um,
What's this about?
Before we came to Kryn, we had some information that there might have been a part of a really powerful fiendish artifact that was maybe stashed somewhere on Kryn. And you would be one of the few people that I am in the vicinity of who I might be able to ask about that. But I didn't want to do it here in the middle of the reunions in the morning.
I can go there now if you'd like.
Perfect. We'll meet you there presently as well.
Okay.
Maybe we go take a few bites out of our to finish our breakfast. Check up on Starlbrand.
You don't see
The-
Starlbrand and Kiggy. They might have gone back upstairs, or every place emptied out when the townsfolk returned. Right? Everybody wants to see their mothers, their grandmothers, their kids.
Okay. Um, before going to the fortress, I will go upstairs to Kiki's room and see if she is in there.
Yeah.
I'll knock.
Yes, she answers the door. Shh. Starlbrand's sleeping again.
Can I can I ask you a quick question?
Sure.
Uh, have you or your father or your grandfather have you ever heard anything about a part of a very powerful fiendish artifact being stashed away somewhere here on Kryn? It would have been the blade of the Hidden Lord.
It doesn't ring a bell to me, but my people don't deal in fiendish artifacts.
No, I just know that with uh how how learned your people are and the fact that uh well, it just seemed like it would be worth asking just in case.
I'm sorry.
Oh, you have nothing to apologize for. I knew it was a long shot, but I wanted to ask just to be sure. I think we're going to be packing up and leaving within the next few hours, but we'll stop in and say goodbye before we go.
Okay.
All right. And then does everyone want to go to the fortress with me? Everyone want to hold hands and skip?
Gonna hurt our backs. You're pretty short, but I'll go with you.
Cool.
So you're all headed to the fortress?
Yes, please.
Okay. Uh, it's busy. They're building another building out back, a bigger barracks. Um, they're built, everything is going through the town uh, fortress as a hub, basically.
Bill, do we still have the pommel or did we leave it with Speaker Shola?
Um, does anybody have it in their inventory? Because if not, I'm going to say you left it.
My recollection is we left it, but uh, I didn't put it in the notes. I just said that it's the Speaker Shola explained to us that it was the pommel of the Sword of the Hidden Lord. But it would make sense that we would leave it with her.
I don't have it.
Maybe Barley put it in the bag of holding.
Hmm.
All right. With Ardrill and Follis there, I'll ask them the same question. So before we came here to Kryn, there were other obviously more pressing matters that we had to attend to first. One of the things that was mentioned to us is that there might have been a really powerful part of a fiendish artifact called the Sword of the Hidden Lord that might have been stashed away somewhere on Kryn. The blade specifically, after the sword was broken into three pieces, and it was thought that the blade might be stored somewhere on Kryn. And you two are the most well-informed and knowledgeable people that I have quick and easy access to, and I wanted to ask before we left if you might know anything about that or have heard any legends related to it.
Follis speaks up. My guess is that something like that would be with the dragons, being the oldest, most powerful beings on Kryn. Possibly the elves. Argel says, I don't know anything about this. Oppinicus would be a better person to ask. I'm really just a soldier, commander.
I was worried that maybe I had missed my chance to ask him. It slipped my mind in our yesterday evening before they departed. Um, Captain Ardrill, you'll be staying here in Wonder, correct? Will you be going back to Qualinesti at any point?
I'm sure I'll be going back at some point. We live
Okay.
a really long time, but I'll be here for the foreseeable future. This
Um,
town, I think, really needs a steadying hand right now.
yeah. Okay. Uh, Ezra turns to Follis and says, before we left to fight Rhymeroth, I handed you a few satchels of letters. Can I have those
Oh yeah,
back?
yep. Hold on.
Um, and then he'll take the one that was for Opinicus and hand it to Captain Ardrill. And well, he'll separate that one and say, if we could send this to Opinicus, it has information related to that, just to if there's anything he could do to try to keep an eye out for information or the blade itself.
Yes, sure, no problem.
And then the rest, uh, Ezra's gonna pocket the rest. Uh, okay. And then the last thing, uh, that's everything that we had for you, Follis, and for you, Captain Ardrill. If there's other things that you need to get to, but Ezra will turn back to the group and say, I do think that maybe it would be worth stopping in Thorbarden. It's not totally out of the way for us to go there before going to Hopeful and leaving Kryn.
Before we leave, I need to assign a new Lord Protector because we will most likely not be back.
That makes sense.
Who do you guys think? We're kind of huddled up right now, right? So we're not talking to Follis and Ardrill. Who do you guys think should be the new Lord Protector?
Becky?
I think Becky's going to run the inn. Becky's
Yeah,
like who she is. I think it's got to be one of these two guys.
I mean, Follis, Bill Follis, is Follis considered a member of the council for the town?
He has been in the past, but yeah.
Yeah, and I don't think Ardrill will be the representative from Qualinesti. I think that they'll probably send someone else. I think that maybe it would make more sense for Ardrill to be the protector with his military background, and maybe Follis can remain as an advisor.
I mean, we can obviously ask these two guys. We'd want the new Lord Protector to be, you know, accepted by the people, and I think either of these two people would probably be accepted since Ardrill's been training the guard and was, central to saving the town.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to bring you back. The reason that they had a Lord Protector was because they were put under great threat. Previously, they were ruled by a council that had a prime delegate as sort of a prime minister, and otherwise just a council of people. So most likely, now that the threat has been abolished, unless the great protector seizes power and becomes a Caesar, they'll probably abolish the position and return to it being a council.
Works for me.
So let's just bring it up. I turn to Follis and Ardrill and say, "What's now that the war is over and Wonder seems to be rebuilding, Follis, is the plan to move back towards a town council since you no longer seem to need a Lord Protector?"
That would be my ideal, yeah. We have several new council members to add as well. So yeah, we'll probably hold an election and then add the foreign delegates to the council and maybe get to 7.
Okay, great. Then I've got nothing else.
All right. Ezra takes a deep breath. Like, I think he's realizing that after being here for a full 2 weeks or so,
Are you gonna sneeze?
we're actually gonna, like, this is it. We're gonna pack up, and most of us are probably never gonna come back. Ezra will reach out to shake both Ardril and Volus's hands and thank both of them personally.
Ardril is very businesslike. He thanks you for your service to the to the land, and Follis is a little more personable about it. There's no way for me to repay what you have done for this town and its people, but know that I am grateful, and that if I am ever able to return even a fraction of that favor, I will gladly do so.
Volus, is there uh the does the council have finances saved up or put away at all uh for this kind of situation to help cover any costs from rebuilding?
Our treasury is not empty.
Okay. Uh,
We also have a lot of raw material now. All of the weapons that all the Draconians used, all of their armor that was used, plus that strange conglomeration of humans. All of those things are ours now. Plus the mines, we can start working again.
Yeah.
The lake, we'll be fine. In fact, my guess is we will prosper.
It's good to know. Follis, have you connected with Foddeles yet?
The outspoken Tinker Gnome?
Yes.
We've met.
Have you? She came back with us, right? Sort of out of game. I'm talking to.
Yeah.
Well, just for your information, she's the one who designed those magical weapons that were used in the battle. She can probably teach people how to use them to protect Wonder in the future. But as dangerous as those weapons are, Foddeles does seem to be somewhat brilliant when it comes to creating these things. So I would suggest trying to work with her. I understand you may not want her tinkering inside the city walls.
No, I think that's exactly where I want her.
Oh, good. Well, just wanted to pass that information along to you.
She has designs for a kind of automated mine cart, which could definitely be of use in the mines below the city.
Yes, Fodley's and I are going to have a series of conversations, I think.
Oh, all right. It's a little sexual, but I'm for it. Well,
he opens his mouth to say
see,
something. That's
see
like,
you later.
Yep. Okay. Yeah.
That's what Zerwin means whenever he says he's going to talk to anybody. All right. Should we go back to the inn and pack up and say goodbye to Kiggy and Starlbrand?
Wait, you guys have shit that you're not just carrying with you?
Yeah, I mean, I basically set up a yard sale in my room. I don't know about you. I'm gonna need at least 6 to 8 hours to clean everything up. We were here for like 8 days.
More than that. You were here
9 days.
Yeah. Yeah, it might have been closer to 2 weeks. You were here before the countdown began, right?
Yeah.
And the countdown was more than a week. Anyway, you were here for a while. Yeah.
And then Is anyone else gonna want to stop in and say goodbye to Kiggy and Starlbrand?
Yo.
You can give them my farewell. I'm gonna go see Becky.
Of course you are.
Easy.
You easy.
The goodbye doesn't have to be anything super in depth. Just
Yeah,
Ezra was
mine's
gonna stop by and kind of
mine's not there.
give them a hug and thank them, and begrudgingly tell them to give their dad and grandfather the group's best as well.
Okay.
Maybe one more apology.
Yeah. Starlbrand, did Kiggy give you your finger back? We gave it to her. Did that make its way back to you?
If it didn't, I'm gonna be pissed.
Yeah, we went through hell keeping that finger in halfway decent condition. It didn't get fireballed. Nothing, you know.
Stahlbrand's asleep again when you go to say goodbye, but
That's good. That's for the best too.
yeah, you can avoid that awkward conversation at least. But feel free to have all the rest of them. Yeah, Kiggy expresses gratitude and kindness. Please come back again.
How will we find you if we do?
I'll find you, just like I did this time.
All right.
We are sent.
Yeah, I have a sneaking suspicion that we might be back, despite everything telling me that I'll never see this place ever again. So
Gelidus
even if
is from here, so
yeah, Gellert, I mean, he's with me. I'm guessing he's just really quiet again. This guy, he'll be back. His parents live here. Did you know that?
Yes, they're wonderful people. I quite like the Kender. They're curious creatures.
Sure are.
Zerwin, what do you want to say to Kiggy? Yeah, sorry, Becky.
Becky, just general. Didn't want to leave without saying goodbye. Tell her she'll do great, and hopefully I'll be back someday.
She indicates that she'll be settling in and figuring out how to run this place with the two cousins that are staying, and co-purchasing and co-running this place. And then as you go to leave, she smacks your ass really hard.
Ooh.
Then she winks at you.
I wink back, but I'm not a very good winker, so it's like
That's the old Zerwin charm.
I'm better when I'm drinking.
A critical fail on wink. I like that. All right, now what, friends?
I think we're gonna march off towards Thorbarton.
How long does it take to
Because
get there?
probably a day.
Couple of days. Yeah. So one of your options is to wait for Stahlbrand to wake up, or you can hoof it over several days. You could also ask Kiggy if he's capable, just to find out. Let me spoon feed you. Is that delicious? Is that
Yeah,
delicious?
yeah. Kiggy, sorry to bother you again after we just had that heartfelt goodbye. Do you think Starlbrand would be able to open a portal when he wakes up? Not to put him
Probably.
out. Not to put you out.
It doesn't
Okay.
seem to be terribly difficult for him.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm gonna go get him another bowl of that oatmeal and fruit salad. Let's see if maybe we can wake him up to eat some lunch. Maybe. Speed this along a little bit.
Mm.
And then suddenly we're in a tomb, in a cemetery in Thorbarden.
Okay. Yeah, we can like skip to that part. Starlbin does wake up. He's, taking a nap in the morning. He's like a toddler. He's taking a nap in the morning, having a day. Sometimes he has an afternoon nappy, sometimes he doesn't. Depends on how he's feeling. He is a very different person, though. Um, he is far more withdrawn and gaunt. Um, and there are some fundamental changes about the way that he interacts with everyone. But he doesn't, like, when you ask him about a portal, he's like, sure, no problem, let's go. And then he takes you, and you find yourself back in a tomb in the ancient dwarven city of Thorbarden, a tomb of ancient heroes, if you remember correctly.
Yep.
One which the regular troops refused to desecrate, and yet
Yep.
here you are again.
Oh, yeah. I mean, honestly, this time I don't even care. I'm gonna kick open the door to this tomb and march right into that city. Gently.
You're gonna hurt your fucking
Gently?
leg. Tomb doors are not like made of plywood.
You have 4-inch legs.
That's true. I'm getting shorter all the time. All right, so we need to try to meet with Thena, Malgola, and Harmech.
Can we? I would like to. Can we go see Harmech individually first? He's
Love that idea. That sounds
Yeah.
great.
Sure. He is, yeah, so it's like just early afternoon when you get there, so he's
also probably taking a nap.
he actually is, but he's in his office sleeping in his chair when you come in. What's yes. Hello. Oh, it's the young people. So is the young people. How are you? Just by dint of seeing your faces, I can assume that you won the battle.
A few of us are still extra crispy, but we did win.
What's 1,500 draconians in the grand scheme of things? Yes. How
A
can I
whole
help you
lot of
today?
explosions. Ezra produces the crown of Dwarven Kings.
As promised, after we had defeated Rhymeroth, I had told you we would bring this back. This is where it belongs.
Ah, yes. This thing, I remember now. He takes it from your hands. Well, thank you.
I give him the rundown of everyone I have met so far. We don't have to go through the whole thing, but I give him a quick rundown of who I've talked to. I assume he's going to write it down somewhere, and sort of my interactions with each of them.
The ones in the crown, though, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking. My interactions with everyone I talked to inside the crown.
Sorry, I thought you meant like every single person.
No, and I explained to him that there could be more that I did not talk to.
Why did you have this, Ezra?
I gave him that because I've acquired a new artifact. This axe that I carry is also a dwarven artifact. It is the axe of dwarvish lords, and I found that it destroys other magical items that are in my possession, and so obviously did not want to destroy that crown. Did not want to take any chances.
Does the axe
Interesting.
look familiar to you, or have you heard anything about an axe of this kind?
To tell you the truth, I've always been more of a bookman myself than an axeman.
Hey, you got a book? Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
Do you know
I don't
anything?
mean to get off topic.
Do you know anything about fiendish books of terrifying power, Harmech?
Um, uh, Not specifically. What are you getting at? Do you have-
Ezra produces the book. I don't care anymore.
He looks at it and kind of like pushes himself back in his chair a little bit. I don't like the looks of that one bit.
Me neither. And Ezra will put it back away.
Well, you. So when this axe,
Yes.
may I see it?
Sure. I'd rather not give it to you because it does seem to have something wrong with it. But I pull it out and
When you pull it out, you hear whispers.
I convey that information to Harmech.
Hmm.
I can't make them out, but I definitely hear whispers.
He gets close and he pulls out a little glass magnifier thing and he sticks it in his eye and gets real close and starts like reading the runes. Yes. Well. Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
See. Little, as the runes sort of pass by his magnifying glass eye, and he pulls the magnifying glass out in one eye and puts it in the other eye. Yes, well, this is old. Very old. Where did you find it, you said?
We found it in Rymroth's
Dragons!
tavern.
Yes, the dragons. Of course, of course. Yeah, Ranroth, though. Rorsus, perhaps? Yes? You've
Rorsus's son?
Yes, you've stolen Rorsus's prized possession. Good job. He's had this for hundreds of years. Well, yes, this is indeed the axe of dwarven lords. I am
Can you
sorry for you, son. It's a terrible
you
burden.
can you tell me a little bit about it?
Oh, it's cursed. Definitely cursed.
Do you know what the curse is?
Well, to begin with, it turns you into a dwarf.
Oh God, no!
No, it does. No, it does. I swear it does. If you're not a dwarf and you use it, it turns you into a dwarf. Okay, anyway, that's true.
Ezra, hold my axe. Hold my axe.
No, thank you. I don't need to be any taller than I am now.
Yes. Well, that's, be it as it may, it also will consume any magical item on your person at a semi-regular rate. You use it, you expend its powers, and then after a month or two of doing that, it will gobble something up. So that's why you wanted to get rid of the crown, huh? Yeah, I see.
It is. I didn't want to get rid of the crown, but I also didn't want to destroy it.
I-
It already destroyed one of my items.
I do think the crown will be safe from the axe. The crown is also ancient and very powerful, but the axe will demand to be fed and it will eat other things. And if you don't feed it, it'll start to eat you.
Okay.
Sounds familiar.
So you should buy some magical trinkets and keep them nearby.
Okay. Does it matter how powerful they are?
It is a good question and one I cannot answer because I
Okay.
don't know.
I give Zerwin one of my magical cards. Just real quick, hand him off one.
Oh, I thought you like slid it into my back pocket. Okay, well that's good to know. I will try to keep some minor magical trinkets.
Zerwin,
Yes?
do you know why the crown speaks to you?
No. But what I've gathered is that at some point, along my lineage, somebody was king
Or queen?
or queen. I know one of the persons I talked to in the Crown had a name very similar to mine. And I believe when I told you my name, you looked at me funny.
Yes. I
I
think you should get to the bottom of that. And I think you should take the crown to do so.
okay.
Bring it back when you've discovered why, and who you are, and what your lineage is.
Okie dokie.
And no offense, Ezra, you are a very good young man, but please don't give this to anyone else, sir, when it is yours.
I reach over and snatch it from Ezra. Then I pat Ezra on the back.
Ugh. Oh, thanks.
And that axe will demand a terrible price if you're not careful. So do be careful, Zoan.
Well, you know, I'm a barbarian, so
Hmm,
careful's my middle name.
yes, well.
Actually, it's Florence, and I really don't like it, but
All right. Well, off with you then. Go have some
Harmeth,
adventuring.
we're hoping to meet with the queens. Would you join us for that?
Absolutely not. I don't like to be around them any more than I have to.
Me neither. But
thanks, Harmech.
we're hoping to try to talk a little bit of sense into them, you know. Drop of wine into the ocean of blood and all that.
Yes, you tried that once before. How did it go?
Well, I think this time I might have a little bit more evidence, which might make me a little bit more convincing.
Oh, I think you are very convincing. Good luck.
Off we
See
go.
you, Harmech. Don't let your sausage link.
What? Is that a euphemism? Is that a dwarf thing?
As you close the door, you hear him say, "Don't let your bag sag."
What the hell is up with?
I walk away, just my man. I guess my dwarf.
Oh man! All
Dirk,
right.
that,
So,
Dirk, that guy was cool, wasn't
All right. I think Ezra would like to make his way to Malgola's office.
he? I forget. Can we tell the difference between the twins now?
I think we
Now that
can.
we've met them once, like we wouldn't get duped again, would we?
No.
they are identical twins, so it's possible. But I'll give you an advantage on a roll now.
Ezra's gonna poke his head into Malgola's office and say, "Hey, we're meeting with Thina in 30 minutes, and you're not invited." And then he's gonna leave. And he's gonna do the same thing to Thina, saying that we're gonna meet with Malgola in 30 minutes, and she's not invited.
Are you going to tell either of them where you're going to meet them, or are you just going to hope they run out of their offices screaming, looking for you?
I'll
Because
say
that's not how women work generally, Ezra.
What was the room that we met in before? Did it have a specific name? It was like a council room or something.
Yeah, the King's Council chambers.
Yeah, I'll say that we're gonna meet in the King's Council's chambers.
Okay. Yeah, you know who's in the King's Council chambers.
Is it their dad?
It's the King. Yeah, he's there. He's playing with his grandkids.
Good to see you. We're hoping to meet with your daughters here in about 30 minutes.
Oh, right. I remember the rest of you. Come on in. And he ignores you and like plays some little like wooden like doll game with one of his granddaughters. It's very involved.
I picture him more like Vito Corleone playing in the garden. But thanks for ruining that.
It's another way I can ruin your dreams.
Do they both show up?
Malgola does.
Dina doesn't.
Dina does not.
All right. Thank you for coming. I wanted to give our final report about the Battle of Wonder and update you on how dire things might get here on Kryn in the near future. By now, you might have received reports from your soldiers about the devastation that was wrought against the palisades around the city by a new magical war machine developed by a gnomish inventor. These were devices made out of dragon metal that launched balls of metal slag and just tore the walls to pieces. One of the things that you said to us when we were here before is that Thorbarden had stood for hundreds and hundreds of years and no siege would ever breach the walls. And I wanted to warn you that I think warfare is about to change on this world, and your walls might not be as impenetrable as they were. And I wanted to recommend with every fiber of my being that you try to find a way to work with your sister for the good of your people. Because I
That's
think things are going to be different and worse, and some very horrifying things are going to happen here within just a few years, probably.
Jesus, man.
what do you want?
I think what I want is for you and your sister to be prepared and for your people to thrive, because I'm terrified that every place that I've ever known and could ever think of is going to be thrown into a furnace of fire and brimstone that we can't even comprehend of. And soon. But I've said my piece.
You know, if you wanted bleeding heart, you got the wrong sister. But
You're the one who showed up.
don't ever think that we won't both fight on the same side if it means something is threatening Thorbarden. And what you said just now sounds vaguely like a threat.
It's not me who's threatening you. We come from another world, and we're hearing these whispers of the most powerful fiendish beings that have ever existed working together when historically they've been at odds and would do anything to kill each other in ways that, again, can't even really understand because these things are so powerful and so old.
We don't really have demons and devil problems here. We have dragons. We have Takesis.
And we think she's involved.
Well, then, that's a problem that we have a couple thousand years of experience dealing with.
Good. Wasn't my intention to threaten you, but to warn you.
You can see how one might misconstrue those two things.
Yeah, I have some experience with that.
Very well. I have heard your concerns. These new war machines, You have one?
No, we don't have one. We allowed your general and your soldiers to examine one and prepare a detailed report for you.
The
But
Draconians have them.
no, their inventor has them, and they are in the City of Wonder.
The city. Okay. I'm very busy. I
As I
assume you can
said,
show yourself out.
your general and your soldiers will have a detailed report. Armies, shouldies, And my guess is that you may be able to make machines of the similar type fairly quickly. Thanks. Goodbye.
As we leave, I lean over to Ezra and I'm like, fire and brimstone?
I don't even think that that's the most scary or graphic way I could have described it. It's just the first thing that popped into my head, because we're talking about devils and demons and the hells and the abyss.
Yeah, coming in hot, man. Hey, look, you're the charisma guy. So far
Yeah,
be it from me.
I felt like they didn't listen when we were here before, and this time one didn't even show up. So, from when we leave here, we'll have to go meet with Metallica. That's the name of the Draconian, right?
Yes, I named a Draconian after a metal band.
I will find it.
Megalodron?
Yeah, Maglidrin. There it is. Does anyone want to talk to Dorna before we leave? She's probably back, right? Nope. I got one person emphatically shook their head, so I'm getting a strong no vibe.
Got nothing to say to her.
Dorna's
Yeah.
not here.
Very good. Soon, neither will we be. All right.
Yeah.
So Dorna's in the exact same place that we are soon gonna
B.
be in.
Except not exact at all. Not even close, maybe. But not here.
So
right.
samesies.
No
So
more samesies.
From here, we can head to the meeting spot for where we're going to meet with Megalodrin. Megalodrin.
And Ibra.
Good, Zerwin. Yeah, it's
Who's
good.
Ibra?
The Earth sign.
Oh, yeah.
And you're
Yeah.
missing one more person that you really can't leave at Wonder.
I'm guessing Borgle.
There it is.
Okay. They probably would have come with us to Thorbarden, I'm guessing.
I'm not bringing Borgle to Thorbarden, dude.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
bad idea.
Okay. Yeah, you're right, actually. So we would have had the two of them march, and hopefully we're going to arrive there at the same time, because probably would be bad news bears if they show up and Megalodrin's just camping out. Surprised.
You gotta
Let's
go
all get
back
out.
to Wonder and get Ibra and Borgle, and then you can hoof it out.
All right. I guess we do that.
Starburn can get you from Thorbarden to Wonder.
Is he waiting for us?
Yeah, you guys. I'm assuming we're not gonna be that long, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
Oh, and I forgot to say before we left, I was like, "Don't lose a finger" as we walked out the door. To Starlbrand before we left.
Why would you say that though?
Because last time we were here, he fucking left us a finger.
No, that wasn't here.
That was at the Free People.
Oh,
But it's
all
really
right.
not better.
It's not better that you made
Yeah,
that
no,
mistake.
you're right. That doesn't work here. I'm sorry. Well,
I mean, it
on
was the
point.
last time he opened a portal.
For
Uh,
us.
The joke landed in this household, Zerwin.
All right, let's go.
All right. So Ibra, just to like reacquaint you, is a young, blonde-colored Urson, right? She's not quite as large as some of the other ones. And then you have Borgle. Um, Actually, when you get back to Wonder, the two are waiting for you together. As Ibra has rubbed some salve and bandaged Borgle's hands. He was like in kind of like a lot of pain, so I was like, I just know like a couple of ways to make some of the pain not, so I did a little.
That was very nice of you.
This is like pretty bad curse stuff. Curse magic can leech, especially if you're. Have you ever okay, so there's this dead things that cast spells. Does this ring a bell? Do you have that on your plane of existence?
Like a lich?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. You ever seen one?
We on the
I'm-
Feywild we tended to have hags, and there may have been some undead hags. So sort of. Why?
Th- They are what happens if you deal with cursed magic all the time.
Okay.
So, remove curse a lot on Borgle. Probably a good way to make the black poison dissipate. Plus the salve, very important.
I
Okay.
like the way you think. That's smart.
I think we all collectively turn to our cleric and paladin, who dutifully cast remove curse over and over and over again with all of their spell slots.
Mm-hmm.
Tip
uh,
of the cap. Thank you, Owen. Thank you, Gelidus.
I doubt Owen has it. I can look at Gelidus right now.
What is it? Is it a third or a fourth level spell?
I might even be surprised if he has it too, because
He
he's
probably
not that
doesn't have
kind of
it
cleric.
prepared. Yeah. I think that's one of those spells that any cleric can get, but I don't know. I'm just a sorcerer.
You're not just a sorcerer, Ezra.
Thanks, Erwin.
You're our sorcerer.
I'm gonna be very smug for the rest of the day because you said that.
He does not have it. Let me see if he can prepare it at some point. He can. He just doesn't have it prepared now. So make sure you tell him when he gets back.
Cool. Borgle, how you feeling?
Bogle hands. Ooh, feel better.
Glad to hear it. Are you ready for a long hike through the mountains?
Whoa. Walking. Bogle good at walking.
So, I'm gonna give both of you as we leave Wonder, once we're kind of outside of the city walls, I'll explain to them. Uh, don't freak out, but when we camp for the night, it's going to be in a place where there is a draconian who's meeting us. He's going to come with us when we leave this world, but it's okay. We're working on helping him to become a good person and not a bad person anymore. Kind of like Alzior back in Wonder. You saw, we rode on the dragons with him, so. Or well,
Uh,
you saw Alzior there, and Idra, you saw Alzior, after the battle.
Hi, bruh.
Ibra. Names.
Ibra doesn't seem super psyched about this idea, but she rolls with it, I guess. Sure enough, because you sort of got a late start, you do have to camp about halfway through, and at the appointed spot, you do see creeping out of the darkness a shadowy figure, um, slinking towards your fire.
I'll get up and meet him. Is it Megalodron?
It is Megalodon. Yes, you've made it.
We did. Rhymeroth is dead,
Yes.
and for good measure, his father has been badly injured,
Hmm.
but not killed, unfortunately.
I stole
We're gonna.
Rors's axe.
Oh yeah, we got his axe though.
What?
Not his ass, but we did get his axe. We'll come back for the ass.
You want to hold it?
We got Rhymeroth's ass.
You don't want to hold that axe.
You're a strange bunch of people.
It
Yeah.
takes strange people to do what we do.
Yeah, it works for us,
What
or at least
the
it has
fuck
so far.
does that mean?
None of you can understand it. Well, Dirk can. He's speaking Draconic.
Oh,
I can understand it. What's he
Yeah.
saying?
Here, let me introduce you. I was very impolite when we first met and didn't take the time to learn your name. So this is Borgle, the giant. And this is Ibra, the Urson. They're gonna come along as well. Everyone else, I think you know.
That thing is fucking huge.
Yeah, you didn't see him in Rhymeroth's lair. He was handling the eggs. That's why his hands are so badly injured.
I wasn't allowed back in Rhymeroth's lair. None of us were.
Well, he was.
We're gonna camp here for the night, and then in the morning we will be heading to the town of Hopeful, and that's where we're gonna catch our ride off of this planet.
What is it with town names around here? Wonder, hope, joy.
I mean, when we first before we came here, we heard that the name of Wonder was actually Wormwild, so at least that sounds a little bit more fitting.
Yes, Wormwild. I know what you mean now. I can't go there. The centaurs will stick me full of arrows.
Um, Bill, when we came in, was it like in the middle of town?
No, you landed outside of town.
Yeah, so we will probably be able to leave outside of town, and even if we did have to go into town, I could make you invisible.
wait, am I still not understanding this? Can't we call it right here?
We can call it, but I think we have to go back to Hopeful, or well, outside of Hopeful to actually catch it. It's like you can book a flight on the internet, but you have to go to the airport, catch the flight.
All right. Well, should we call it?
Sure. Ezra produces the ring
You want to
of
call it now? So you're gonna
airplanes.
go right now?
It's the middle of the night, right? We'll call it in the morning.
Right. So before that, uh, Megalodren says, "There's a bear in your camp."
Yeah, that
What?
Who's
wait,
Where?
there?
You
the
can't understand him,
Urson?
Zerwin.
Ibra?
Oh, god damn it.
I said Ibra's an Urson. She's coming with us too.
Do you have anything to eat?
Sure.
For the bear?
I don't eat bears.
What kind of food do you like?
If it bleeds, I can eat it.
Great.
Bears
Uh,
bleed.
I'm gonna whip out a trail ration and cast Prestidigitation to flavor it like the finest steak, and I'll give that to Megalodron.
He like sniffs it with his tongue,
So it
and
should,
then
yeah, smell and taste like just a delicious steak.
you ever seen the Fantastic Mr. Fox movie? You know where it's the animated movie where they're all sit down, they're like thank you, they like have this like polite meal, and they all sit down in front of it, and they're like and they like that's what he does to the food.
Do you need another?
No, that was satisfactory. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So,
Thank you for trusting us.
when we get back to your home world, what will I do then? I'm not
The
being thrown
impression
in jail.
You won't be. The impression I got from you is that you may not want to stay there, but go somewhere else. It's a kind of nexus where you could go almost anywhere, and so we can review the available options, and you could start a life there if you wanted to, or if you wanted to go to another world, we would arrange for that to happen. We wouldn't have been able to do what we did here without your help, and we want to repay that.
Hmm. All right. Fine. In the morning then?
Yes, in the morning.
Okay. Um, you all sleep. You get another long rest in case you needed anything recharged that you used.
Dirk, you get that spell slot back.
Heck yeah.
You all have dreams of dragons. Silver, brass, red, black. Dragons, dragons everywhere. When you wake in the morning, uh, Borgle is snoring incredibly loudly. It's really a fucking miracle that you slept at all, to be honest with you. Ibra is already up. She seems to be like meditating, perhaps. And Megalodren is um, like hunched against a tree, looking down the trails. We should go soon. I don't like being this exposed.
All right. Um, Ibra, is everything okay?
Oh,
All
yes.
right. Ezra will produce the ring and attempt to call the Radiant Citadel.
Immediately there's an effect. The ring glows, and you feel a pulse of energy. Um, less than 20 minutes later, there is a bright flash in the sky, and one of the Concorde jewels starts descending towards your location. It takes a few minutes for it to land, but when it does, the door sort of, they have these big back bay doors that they load cargo on, and that's the one that opens. Borgle, as this thing sort of like comes down, is like, "Oh, big bird." And then when it gets closer, he's like, "Machine?" And then it gets even closer, and he's like, "Rock?" He's very confused. He also has to hunch to get inside, but more importantly, the pilot does not want to let him on. What the fuck is that?
This is our friend Borgle. He's a giant. He's been cursed, and we need him to come with us. We think it's of grave importance that he come with us.
I don't know that cursed giants is like within my regulations. Like, they don't even have giants on Kryn. Where did he
No,
come from? Why is he cursed? Why are his hands like that?
I mean, do you want me to stand here and explain it to you, or can I convince you that we all just need to go?
I don't know. Make a roll. That was a lame attempt. Make me a
Yeah.
persuasion roll.
Yeah, you bet.
I will also try to intimidate him by saying, Speaker Shola wants us back ASAP, and if you don't do it, she's going to be pissed.
Oh, does that count as the help action? I got a 15. Oh, and Zerwin just rolled an intimidation. I got a 20, so
I do this with Zerwin's intimidation just to do the help action.
yeah.
He look. Sorry, Dirk. I can't give a straight face when Dirk is making that face. He looks at Zerwin and fine, fine, fine. Just don't break anything. Is that a fucking draconian? No. And he's about to like say no fucking way, and then Zerwin. I'm gonna lose my job. I'm gonna lose my job.
I mean, if you do, you can work for us.
So I was literally going to slap on the back and be like, we'll hire you.
Are we hiring?
Yeah.
No.
We don't even offer dental.
Oh. I did it literally just to call myself a Caliente citrus. And apparently you guys are getting money out of this.
Oh man. Okay, and then finally there's a bear, giant bear thing, and he's like, literally, what the fuck?
Look, you're questioning this way too much. We're gonna have way too many conversations. You should just take us.
Yeah, can we please just go home and have the conversations there?
Um,
Shola's gonna want to
yeah,
speak
no,
to
this is great.
all
No,
of
this is
these people.
perfect. Nope, yep, get him on. Come on. Anything else? You want to bring anyone else back with you? Is there a dragon, a red dragon that you want to bring? You met a red dragon, right? Or
Oh shoot, no, we forgot. Hold on. Oh no, it's dead. Never mind.
all right. He closes the door.
I lean over to
Wait, close the door. You want to know who killed it?
Ezra and I'm like, hey, grab a little gold out of that bag of holding and let's slip this guy a few coins here.
He is getting paid. You guys are getting paid.
Who?
Like, we'll do it when we get off. Don't give it to him right now. Wait till we go to disembark and
Yeah. Fuck
Yeah.
me.
Do it when we get off.
I die. He's like mumbling to himself as he like straps in and starts piloting. Like always. Yeah, just cargo flights. They said. Just cargo flights. Maybe occasionally there'd be a person take some place. Mostly just pottery. pottery. I could bring pottery places, one place on there, and maybe some textiles. I like textiles. I like textiles and pottery. That's what I like to fly from place to place. Is
I
things
lean
that
up and I
don't
go,
potentially kill me.
Is he sitting down, this guy?
Oh, he's piloting. You're taking off and heading back up towards the.
"You like
I mean,
textiles and pottery. Have you looked into professions in the textile and pottery realm?"
Yes, I'm in one supposed to be transporting textiles and fucking pottery.
I don't
I
think
walk.
that counts.
walk
I think
by
you're
the-
whittling down your dreams.
you'll
I rub his
notice that the
shoulders.
unexpected guests are behaving at least as well as pottery and textiles.
I walk up behind him and I'm like, "Shh, it's okay, buddy. You're good."
Borgel has taken a seat in the very back where you can see out some of the windows that look like crystals, and he is absolutely loving it. And Ibra is sitting at the very next one, and she's like a kid in a candy shop too. They're both like looking at them and they're like talking to each other, and like oh. And Megalodren is like hunched in the corner and like has his back back against the wall, and he's got a little dagger out, and he's just like holding it, and he's like.
I lean back and I go, "I know everybody's excited, but don't kill the pilot."
And you have to say it again in Draconic too. You're like at the Olympics when they say things over and over again in multiple languages.
I mean, Megalodren can speak common.
Oh, that's good.
So he just
Uh,
hasn't.
What's that?
So he just hasn't been speaking common.
Oh yeah, why would he?
Yeah, he's a
Cool.
real dick.
He is kind of a dick. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. I'll give you that one.
I'm shocked.
I disagree that Epicus is a dick, but I absolutely agree that Megalodren is a dick. All right, so you fly up and the portal, when you head like literally tear a hole in the plane of existence so that you can get to the ethereal plane, which is what the Concord Jewels does. There is a lot of gasping from the back of the, and you realize now also Jana's never done this either, and so it's a pretty amazing. It's not to be taken lightly. You're literally traveling between dimensions, between worlds. And then all of a sudden you're not in Kryn anymore. All of a sudden you're flying through the ethereal plane towards a massive diamond the size of a small continent, around which these discs of material like plane basically orbit, on which there is a city built on various levels. Welcome to the Radiant Citadel. Dirk, Ezra, Zerwin, you've been here before. You can all make perception checks. Difficulty 19.
"26.
That'll do, donkey.
14.
Then they're going to cut it. All right, so Dirk, the Radiant Citadel has a little crack and a little black teeny tiny like this auroral diamond is the size, like I said, of a small, I don't know, like a massive island, right? It's like the size of Cuba or something, and you can see this teeny tiny, maybe like the size of a car, like crack in this little black spot.
I turn to Ezra and I go, "Yo, this shit's fucked up.
What do you mean?
Like a crack. Look."
Ezra looks.
You see the spot in the crack? It's right there.
Oh yeah. I'm guessing
that-
I see it now.
That's a bug on a window, dude.
But I tell it, "Can you put the? Can you? Does the windshield have a white? It's not a bug."
Oh, all right, well, agree to disagree, I guess.
Well played.
Uh,
Okay.
yeah. So we noticed it. There's a crack there, huh? Well, we'll have to talk to Shola about that, I guess. When we land, Ezra's gonna hand the pilot 30 gold.
He looks at 30 gold, looks up at you and says, "Thank you for not breaking anything."
And also the gold.
Real discreet, Ezra.
Does gold? I'll step off your plane and hand you. Never mind.
That's for your trouble. We had a hard time out there. I apologize for our attitude and the extra guests.
When you get off at the docks, keep in mind all the the Concord jewels all dock at the same place. And the docks are places, it's a place that you've been before. When you get up at the docks, first of all, it's busy like it always is, right? People are loading textiles and pottery onto various, Concord jewels and flying out to various places. And then there's people, getting on and off as well. Borgle immediately draws some attention. You haven't seen any giants here on the Royal Diamond yet, but there's one here now. Honestly, Megalodon doesn't. Nobody. They just assume he's a Dragonborn. So nobody bats an eye. Ibra actually garners more attention than Borgle does. Giants aren't unheard of. Ursins are incredibly rare.
Ursins walk on 2 feet, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And she wears clothes.
Are we recognized as the spicy oranges, or are we not really in the market?
Yeah, I mean, some people are going to recognize the spicy oranges. Probably most of the people here aren't, but whatever. 1 in 5 or 1 in 10 are going to recognize you.
I immediately start walking around with more of a strut than I would normally. Janet's probably like, "What the fuck are you doing?" But
I'm gonna cover my face.
Nice, I like that.
I mean, not completely in a suspicious way, but just
Well, it's morning for us, right? So, we would probably want to try to make our way over to find Speaker Shola if we're able to get an audience with her. I mean, she's a busy guy. I don't know.
Okay. You want to head towards the... Oh, I forgot what the section is where the government office is, but that part of the Citadel?
Yes, please.
Okay. On your way, a boy of about 10 comes running up to Zerwin and tugs your sleeve.
"What's up, little man?"
"Hey, this is for you." And he hands you a piece of paper. And then he
I pull out. What do I got here? I pull out.
We got a Gelatus Anodoin. Nice. Oh, this is so much better.
I pull out a gold piece and give it to him.
He looks at it and is like, "No way! Thanks, mister!" And he disappears in his hand and he takes off running. You have a note in your hand.
I read it.
It's from Ash, the bar owner.
Yep.
It just says, "Zerwin, just caught wind that you're back. Please come see me as soon as you can. Bring your friends. Ash."
Okay. I turn and let everybody know. It's from Ash. He wants us to go see him.
You want to do that first?
Is it on the way?
It's not far out of the way.
Yeah, why don't we swing by? We can unload a
Yeah.
couple. We got to give him his dragon scale.
Yeah. I mean, he said he could only do one at a time, I think. So we all got to wrestle over who gets to sell theirs first.
He can have mine.
Okay, so to those who haven't been yet, which includes Jenna, and Galdus and Owen, welcome back. They've just arrived back at the Radiant Citadel, like just arrived back at the Radiant Citadel. You have in tow Borgel and Ibra, who is the young Urson, and Megladren, who is the gold Auroch, Draconian. Um, and I was describing that actually Ibra sticks out more than the other two because people have heard of giants and they assume that Megladren is a dragonborn. So, but no one here has ever even heard of an Urson, so she's a big deal. Um, you walk towards the Keening Over, which is, right at the edge of the night market that is part of the place where the spicy oranges got their name. It does kind of feel good to be home. Um, you weren't really expecting this, but the sights, the smells, the sounds, as you walk into the Keening Over, um, it's morning. It's not super busy, but there is a breakfast crowd, and the smells of the kitchen. Just the variety of people that you see again, right? As opposed to the people you had gotten used to being in Wonder. You know, um, occasionally seeing like a half orc or, you know, what are the elephant people called? The
Loxodons.
Loxodons, right? Yeah, and Tieflings and all sorts of different creatures that you didn't see a lot of um, on Kryn. It just sort of feels home again for the rest of you. Sure enough, when you enter the Keening Over, you're met at the door, as you often are, by Nekton Gunner, who is the Loxodon bouncer. He sort of does the regular professional thing to use there as you come in from one pro to another. And then he says, "Who are your new friends?"
The big guy's Borgel. I'm just gonna call him a Dragonborn. So the Dragonborn's Megladrin, and that's Ibra.
And Jana,
Oh, I'm sorry, and Jana. I forget that Jana was with us.
Gunnar, I know you had expressed to Gelidus that you were interested in some of the specific peoples who live only on Kryn. Um, Ibra is an Urson. You may have never met an Urson before, or maybe you'd like to talk to her.
He's you don't see him stand up very often. He's usually sitting on like a stool by the door. And this might be the first time you've actually seen him stand up, and he's a big boy. Um, and when he stands up, he's not quite as big as Borgel, but he's close enough that it's freakish. Um, and he has to like bend over to get to Ibra's level, but he does so, and he reaches out his hand. "It's a pleasure to meet you." Ibra? Yeah, Ibra, that's me. Yeah, you're big. And he shakes her hand. "I have many questions about your people. Perhaps we can meet and I I have lots of questions about your people too, because I've never seen a talking elephant before, and holy shit." And he kind of like smiles and chuckles. It's it's a date then. Come back when I'm off duty. We'll talk about each other's peoples. I have this book that I've been keeping. You might find interesting. Yeah, I do like books. Thank you.
Gunnar, what's been going on around here?
Same shit, different day.
Yeah, same thing on Kryn.
Hmm.
Where's Ash?
Back room. Go on in. Um, Borgel's having a hard time getting around inside. He doesn't fit. Like he's, bumping into a lot of things and sorry, and like not like he could break things really easily on accident here. You're gonna plow on, bring him to the back room, or you're gonna leave him outside. You're going in.
I don't really want to leave him
outside.
alone. Is he gonna be okay alone? Actually, so I'm like, Gunnar, you keep an eye on Borgle for us. He's a good guy.
Borgle hungry.
Ah, can we get him some food, Gunnar? Actually, I guess. Well, I forget the bartender's name.
Liliana.
Borgle, why don't you stay here? And as we go towards the back room, we swing by the bar, and ask Liliana to bring Borgle some food and send some beer out
Sorry,
back.
Liviana.
Liviana's actually the waitress. It's Delia who's the tender at the Gloom's Edge.
Oh, that's not this. That's its.
No, yeah.
Well, let's just see if Liviana can deliver some food to him and then bring some beers to the back room.
No problem. Yeah, Gunnar says actually there's a table outside. I'll set him up there.
Awesome.
Okay, you make your way to the back room. Ash is there. He's there by himself. He's like going through some looks like a ledger of some sort. He stands up when you come in. Aha! It's good to see you. Good to see you, man. It's been weeks. He slaps, grabs your hand, slaps your back. Come in, come in. Sit down, please. And you. He turns to Jana. Sorry we haven't met yet. My name is Ash. I am the owner of this humble establishment, and I am glad to meet your acquaintance.
Nice to meet you. I'm Jana.
Well, any friend of Zerwin's is a friend of mine. Please come in.
Thank you.
So, how was Kryn? Tell me did you see any dragons? Did you get any dragon scales?
Well, Ash, believe it or not, I actually rode a dragon.
You didn't. You son of a bitch, you did, didn't you? Look at your face.
I did, and we brought you a dragon scale. I know you were hoping for a metallic one.
Chromatic.
Or, I'm sorry, a what?
I think you were looking for chromatic dragon scales,
Chromatic.
Ash. Is that right?
Well, yes. Chromatic ones are the ones that my friends use. Is that not the one you got? A metallic one?
No,
we-
no, we actually got it off of a death dragon.
A death dragon?
Actually, was it a death dragon at the time we took them off?
God. That's even.
It doesn't matter though. Like
It would still be.
it doesn't change its type. I don't think. Mechanically, it does, but it doesn't. You know.
Oh, regardless, I pull it out and throw it on the table on top of his papers.
He seems to be even more exciting. He's like, that's even rarer. Death dragons are unheard of. How you So you put one of the dragon scales on the table?
Yeah, I pull mine out and throw it on there.
Each of us has 2. So we have 12 total. I know that you had said that only one at a time.
He breaks out a little like magnifying glass eye thing, and he puts the scale down and like peers at it really closely. This is magnificent. This is exactly what he wanted. 5,000 gold per scale. Done.
Will you take all 12 now?
Oh, can't do that. I could take 2 at a time and have to give you some time between.
Here,
Sir,
take my 2.
you...
Yeah, you can take my 2.
I'll front you half right now. And he gets up and walks over to his desk and unlocks a lockbox, a banded lockbox, and counts out 5,000 gold and hands it to you. Very good. This is very, very good. Thank you for this.
You're welcome.
And he looks at the axe you have slung over your shoulder. What's that you got?
My new axe. We actually stole this from an ancient red dragon.
Uh-huh. Something off about it, though. Doesn't seem right, exactly.
Yeah. I think it's cursed. I've been told it's cursed.
Okay.
You want to hold it?
No,
Okay.
I do not want to touch it at all.
I wouldn't let you touch it anyway.
That's good. Uh, well,
I got your note. Was there something else you wanted to see us about?
yes. Well, it's complicated. Okay. There is a school teacher and her grandmother. I have a book for the grandmother, who is a collector of rare books. But you probably won't be able to find the grandmother until you find the school teacher. And my suspicion is that it'll be, haha, cat butt.
Hmm.
My suspicion is that it will be at least somewhat challenging to get to where this is. But I have my ins and my connections.
Where is it?
I just had the name. Damn
Come on,
it.
Ash. You're a professional. We expect better from you.
To be honest with you, Ash, I'm not going to remember the name anyway.
Drunal Hall. Drunalhall. And listen, this place, Drunal Hall, it's an old place. And there are some really old politics there. You gotta be careful when you go there about whose toes you step on.
Okay. Is it a different realm?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
All right. Who are what races of people live there?
Oh, all sorts.
Okay.
Why do you say that? You need to be careful about whose toes you step on.
Well, there's two very old, very powerful families, and they run the entire town, and they don't get along. And they've been known to have some animosity towards one another.
So it'd be best to try to stay neutral where we can.
That would be my advice. I'm partial to one of the families, but that's because I trade with them. Anyway,
Which,
the
which
woman
family?
the woman's name is Eartha Vandran. Vandran.
Okay.
She's a school teacher. She runs things for her grandmother, who is the
Got it.
powerful matriarch of the family. And if you could do this for me, and bring back whatever she gives you, I will A, be grateful as I always am, and B, gladly pay you your finder's fee for a relatively simple mission. Shall we
Sure.
say 2,000 gold?
Let's say 2,000.
Be very, very careful with this book. Please do not open it. Please do not unwrap it. Please do not take it out of its box. This book is also cursed. This woman's grandmother is a studier of curses and can sometimes remove them from objects, which is what I'm hoping she can do with this one so that I can actually read the fucking book.
Can she remove them from people as well?
In theory,
What
Okay.
about axes?
I suppose. I don't. That axe looks real old. Artifacts don't generally get a curse removal option.
Got it. Well, we will definitely keep an eye out for her.
Again, Zerwin and company, all I can say is thank you and please, a round on me. Maybe it's a little bit early. This evening when you come back, a round on
No.
me.
We'll take a round.
Very
It was
good.
it was a long 2 weeks.
Indeed it has been. Indeed it has been. And you look battered, friends. You look like you could use a little hospitality. So that's literally my specialty. Allow me. He gets up and pours a round of dark beers for everybody, and also brings you back some like popovers with meat and cheese inside. They're tasty.
I love this. This is good. Is this meat and cheese?
It is, yeah, meat, cheese, and bread, which I've found to be the holy trinity of food.
Really good.
Yeah.
Really good. We should export this.
Oh, yeah. If it weren't for my competitors across the way, I might have cornered a market here. Their popovers, however, far inferior to my own.
Of course.
I
Clearly.
agree.
More of a drop under than a pop over,
If you know what I mean.
if you know what I mean.
Not quite a reach. Never mind. We're not going to go there.
All right. All right. Well, thanks for the beers. We're gonna head over to see Speaker Shola.
Before you go, as everyone else files out, he just grabs your wrist real quick and leans in, Zerwind, and whispers in your ear. Your necklace? Is it in some sort of danger right now? The necklace I gave you?
Yes, but I can't seem to take it off.
Did you try this clasp? And he fiddles with the back and it pops off.
Oh,
You might want to give that to someone else where it won't get eaten.
I would love to do that.
I suggest the Kender, but it's up to you.
Okay.
Maybe the Dragonborn? I don't know.
Sure. Well, thanks for getting it off. I couldn't get it off earlier.
No problem.
These goddamn fingers of mine.
I'll see you guys possibly later tonight.
Sounds good.
While
When we
we're
walk-
walking,
Yeah.
go ahead,
Sorry,
Zerwin.
go ahead. You go.
While we're walking to find and speak with Speaker Shola, as there's, I'll just give an explanation here. Owen and Gelidus, Ibra says that that Borgel is that remove curse spells would work over time on Borgel's curse. You may not be able to do that now, but given some time to study and prepare, you may be able to have that spell ready for opportune moments.
So Ibra may have that spell? Is that what you're saying?
Ibra does not have that spell. Ibra had someone else cast Remove Curse on Borgel, and it seemed to
Okay.
help.
And yeah, Ibra also made a salve or salve. I know people can be persnickety about how they pronounce that word, and applied it to Borgel and bandaged him, which is also helping. But the more that we can do some remove curse spells on Borgel, the better. Cool.
All right,
Oh, hey, Speaker Shola.
I would love to do Speaker Shola and then wrap it up for the night because it's getting late. Okay. Speaker Shola is in a big meeting when you get there with some delegates from what look like our various cities around like Faerun. And when you come in, she immediately postpones the meeting and kicks everyone out, and which is pretty drastic, and then brings you all into her private chambers, and then closes the door behind you. She makes you leave Megladren, Ibra, and Borgel outside. But she allows Janna in.
Like she could stop Jenna.
She beckons for you. Please sit, everyone. I owe you an apology. I was unable to tell you the truth before you left for Kryn. And when I say unable, I mean actually physically unable. I am from Kryn, as I told you, and where you just went was as close to my hometown as one can get. But I was cursed by Takesis, and I will never be able to return. Because I destroyed one of her shrines and took back, liberated several artifacts that she had stored there. For this and many other actions over the course of many centuries, I was deemed the Great Protector. When Takesis finally caught me, I fled, and she gave me a grievous wound, and when I was rescued by a paladin and removed from the plane, Takesis sealed it shut behind me. That was over a century ago. But I left their children, my children, and Rorsis took them and made them his slaves. They were forced to be only Kender. Did you meet two Kender? Are they alive?
We did. Rorsis' son, Rhymeroth, had them. We rescued them and freed them, and they are with Epinnicus and Hitherth and Zixon. Or wait, is Zixon one of them?
No.
No.
I can never see them. I can never talk to them or touch them or hold them. And they will never know who I am. But the fact that they are no longer slaves, I am grateful. Thank you. You can't know what it means, but it means everything. What news from Kryn, then, Rhymeroth?
Dead. We killed him. He had a fiendish contract, so he rose as a death dragon, but Epinnicus was able to dispel the contract, and he is actually dead now. Like, not just he's re-deader again. He's not he's not ambulatory or breathing any kind of flame weapon or anything. He's gone. Never to return.
And Rorsis?
He was badly injured, but we think he's probably still alive. We couldn't find his body. He also he's had some involvement in some fiendish contracts. There was an ancient black dragon named Falrith, who Epinnicus killed with Hitherth and Zixon's help, and Falroth himself had, or herself, also had an infernal contract, or a fiendish contract, and there were missives from Rorsis So it seems like all these things are linked, and Takesis is probably involved as well.
So it has spread even to Kryn. There is an infection traveling through the ley lines and all sources of magic. From realm to realm, from plane to plane. It's a curse, a disease, a something. And it has struck at the Auroral Diamond. And I don't know how to stop it. I've spent the past couple of weeks trying everything I know and contacting every powerful mage, every ancient book, exploring tomes long forgotten, and I have almost nothing to show for it. But I do have one thing, and it is a thing I need your help with.
Go on.
I found the source of the infection, where it began, the first place, and that is all I know, but I would like you to go investigate.
Where is it?
Happily.
It's in a town called Druenhall. Junelhall. Damn it. Way to ruin the drama, Bill. Junelhall.
It's a town called Blunder. Journal Hall. What should we expect to find there?
Well, there are two old families that run that place. This is a town that has two castles, two keeps, two curtain walls. It's almost as if it were two towns, but
Is it like Berlin post, the war?
no, the city is sort of, the people who live in the city don't have to deal with the warring families. It's a cold war between these two old families.
Right.
Although, based on your beliefs and politics, you'll align with one family or the other, most likely. The problem is, I don't know which family, if either of them, are responsible for this. It might be unrelated. It might just be the location, because there is a powerful ley line that runs through there. Maybe it's something else. Maybe the castles themselves are ancient. The families have evolved over millennia, but those buildings are thousands of years old. I'm still working on the history, and I will send with you what I have so far. But all I know for sure is that when I spoke to the most powerful mages, sorcerers, and magic users, this was the source of the infection. And if we can learn anything about it, if we can at least stop the infection from getting worse, that will be a major step towards preventing the Keening Edge from destroying everything as it cleanses the diamond. And if just to time out and do this out of game real quick, just to refresh your memory, there's a giant fuck all storm right next to this giant diamond. And if the gods put this in place so that if anything ever happened to the diamond, the storm would come in and literally kill everything on the plane, and the diamond would reset. If that happens, it also drains all the magic out of everywhere at once, and then slowly sets it back in. So it is the ultimate reset button, and there's sort of a doomsday clock ticking as that diamond gets corrupted and that storm gets closer.
Cool. What world is Junal Hall on?
It's off the coast, far west of Waterdeep, on a massive island. It's part of it's a not very important town, honestly, on this island. This island has its own politics. This town, Junal Hall, has a quarry. It has farms. It has forests. Um, it has beautiful stonework. But that's really all it's known for. It's not a particularly important place.
So we'll be back on Faerun.
Yes.
Are any of us from Faerun?
Yeah.
Well, Barley was, but
Oh.
and Dirk is.
Mm-hmm. And Janet is too, I think, right? Yeah, you're from the Forgotten Realms, I'm pretty sure.
All right.
You don't really know where Zerwin's from.
Underground. I
Yeah.
know exactly where he's from. Underground.
Deep in the caves. All right. That I'm gonna let you guys just chew on that and end the session there, because I assume there's a lot more things that you want to do on the Radiant Citadel before you leave. Go shopping, et cetera, which you can do next week. You do need to keep track of the amount of gold that you have in that bag of holding. When you say you take things out, you have to take it out.
Excuse me?
Okay, Dad.
Because if I find you for cheating, there'll be consequences. All right.
No, the 30 gold came out of my coffers. I didn't adjust anything. I took
Didn't
the
we get
500.
like 8,000 each or something?
I didn't split it up. It's all together because no one answered when I put in the Discord, how do we want to divvy it up? I almost made a humorous comment about how, oh, that means Ezra gets it all, but
I'm a paladin. I don't care if you get it all.
But Janet would have stabbed you in your sleep, though.
That's true.
Yeah.
You're muted.
I care.
Okay, so
Also, Zerwin needs more beer money than like the GDP of a country. So,
Well, I just sold $10,000 worth of or 10,000 gold worth of dragon scales.
that'll keep you in beer for a week.
What am I going to get the rest of my money? Did Ash tell us?
Probably the next
just
time
said
we come back.
he said he could front you half of it now, but I assume you assume he has to make the sale. That's how commerce works. He's got to make the sale before he can bring you the other half of it.
Got it.
Yeah. Okay, let's do danger awesome points to everyone who wants to give them to somebody else. And I'm going to talk to the crowd to see if there's enough here for a giveaway. Everybody who wants to be in the raffle.
I mean, I'll give mine to Ezra. He kind of stole the show tonight.
Ezra gets mine as well for actually making a plan and then following through and actually checking everything off the list.
I'm going to give mine to Zerwin for having the only joke that didn't land tonight. Usually that's my gig, so I appreciate it.
Dirk, did you give one out?
I know. Yeah, I'll give mine to Ezra too for steering the ship.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, I think everybody did pretty well tonight. God, I really liked the conversation that you had with Lerm, Dirk, and I really liked the conversation that Zerwin had with Harmac. Those are really good role-playing moments, so I will give each of you a Danger Awesome point as well for those. Those are good role-playing moments. I think I only have 2 people in raffle tonight. Is that true? That is not enough. We need 5 people in raffle. Yeah, but whatever. Tell you what, these are 2 people who are here all the time, so let's just raffle it off between the 2 of them. They deserve it. And I'm rolling a die, I guess. Oh, okay, Ghost Boy Ren. It was a 50-50 chance, and you've won it. Nicely done. You'll have to private message me a place where I can mail this in an envelope so that it'll arrive at a unmarked post office somewhere. Congratulations. And that is it. And then next week, hopefully, we will resolve a lot of these things. So, congratulations, Ghost Boy Rin. And Foxy Proxy, I'm sure you'll win the next one, given how frequently you are here. And that's it. I'm going to end the stream. Thanks for tuning in. Good night, y'all.
Thanks for watching, everyone.
Good night.